Magazine, where we bring you the latest events happening around the nation. Let's take a look at what we have prepared for you.
Out of the belief that music is the cure of the soul, the Talat Harb Cultural Center held a full-day activity to promote classical music in Egypt. It was attended by former Prime Minister Isam Sharaf, who gave a lecture about the importance of classical music in Egypt.
Talat Harb Cultural Center held a full-day cultural activity. The day started by a lecture held by His Excellency the former Prime Minister Isam Sharaf on the importance of promoting classical music and art among the public.
Actually, I'm very honored and pleased to be here today because my lecture today is, or actually this evening, is part of a program that we decided to make here in this place, although it's actually a popular place, but we decided to move the classical music salon that we make, to such areas, so we can actually exchange these concepts, the arts, and especially music with the local people. Tonight is actually two parts. The first part was, as you have seen, the part of the classical music. It's educational one. And the second part, I'm going to give my lecture, which I consider one of the most important lectures. I've given thousands of lectures, but this one is very important because I believe that we need the concept of al-Watan, of our homeland, to be raised again. There is some confusion between the Watan or homeland and the country. The country is basically the government, people, and the land, but homeland is kind of an emotional thing. So everything is subject to change: people, land, and the government. But the concept and al-Wigdan, the emotion and the concept of al-Watan is unchangeable. It's something like motherhood. Mothers die, but motherhood never dies. So with this concept, I build in that we should consider that in dealing with our country, and I believe that the future is a very bright one. I concentrate on the idea of we shouldn't concentrate on the present. Usually the present have its own problems, but when you look Egypt with the deep civilization and what's going on around us, you can see that people around the world, and they travel a lot, are actually seeking peace, seeking morals, seeking good behavior. Don't look at the administrations and the governments, but look at the people. So there is a tendency of people around the world to actually to get around the values, and there is a lot of studies, that says that that actually when you look at all religions, all religions around, and the philosophers around the world and around the history, there are 12 values that actually they are common between all of us. So why don't we concentrate on that? And since Egypt has this deep civilization, people do respect us. You know, in my travel, actually, last 6 months, I was in two big countries, China and Greece, and I heard it very clearly that it is not acceptable for us to have weak Egypt. Egypt should be strong. So that's the idea, that we should dream. And the dream is not just sleeping and dream. No, a dream is actually a vision that we should work on. Egypt deserves to take a different role in the entire world, not only in the region. When you read the history of civilizations, you always find that civilizations has a good part of it. Any civilization has a good part of it about arts, you know, musical, drawing, or you know, what, I don't know what you call it, naht, you know, things like that. So all kinds of arts. These are the pillars of any civilization. So, so music or any kind of art, I call it actually, it's a kind of getting inside you, inside the human being, and actually search for the meanings, not for the shape. Like all of the human beings are subject to sadness, to happiness, to anger, you know. So these feelings, you know, the arts in general, and especially maybe drama and music, can deal with that. So we can exchange even without talking, you know. As you heard downstairs, the music, it's Italian, but it, you know, it attracted all of us. So arts in general can play a very important role in getting people together, and with keeping each one's identity, no problem. But you know how to exchange, and it's actually a very important part of my presentation tonight is the othership, the other. We should believe that the other, you know, al-akhar, is very important. That we cannot actually move by considering you as different. No, you have the rights exactly that I have, you know. So I call it the equilibrium between the rights, equilibrium of rights. My duties is your rights, and my rights is your duties. So that's why, you know, anyway, the arts, music, drama, painting, and whatever is actually a universal language, and we should work with it. Any art actually can move up our spirit, and this is very important.
I started listening to classical music in 1969. Actually, I bought the first LP long play, the old vinyl long plays, in 1969. And since then, I've been collecting CDs, of course, records first, then CDs, then DVDs. It came to my mind in October 2004, that's 10 and a half years ago, to start a salon, a classical music salon, in my own flat. I have a very good music system, amplifier, two very good speakers, and I invited some of our relatives. We started, 3 of us, and we started inviting others to join us. Classical music is a very special type of music. It's not like other Western music, for example, pop music, light music, easy listening, jazz.
As part of the festivity, the center's choir held a classic Arabic music concert.
احنا هنا في مركز طلعت حرب الثقافي عندنا أنشطة ثابتة طول السنة وفي أنشطة بتبقى موسمية حسب الأجازات.
At Talat Harb Cultural Center, we hold many cultural activities all year round, especially during the summer and mid-year vacations. We hold art workshops for children with special needs twice a week, as well as workshops for regular children 3 days a week. We also hold music and cultural salons. The center also holds many plays as well as poetry salons.
أنا اسمي ندى سيد محمد، عندي 16 سنة، مشتركة في طلعت حرب الثقافي في فريق الكورال.
My name is Nada Sayed Muhammad. I'm 16 years old. I'm part of the choir of the Talat Harb Cultural Center under the supervision of Mrs. Dua Atiya. Today I'll be singing Ya Habibti Ya Masr. I joined the choir 5 years ago. I used to sing at home. My mom told me I have a beautiful voice, so I decided to join the choir. When I first applied, I had to pass a singing exam. They check whether our voice is capable of singing or not. If a candidate does not have a strong voice, then they are assigned as part of the choir. We rehearse 3 days a week. My name is Maysoon Hamdi. I'm 15 years old. I joined the center's choir 2 years ago. I like singing old and classic songs. I dream of becoming an engineer. I don't want to be a professional singer. I'd rather be an engineer with a beautiful voice than a singer who works as an engineer.
أنا كنت سعيدة جدا بشغلي مع الأطفال.
I'm very happy and satisfied with working with the children. Sometimes I also sing with them. We formed the choir 19 years ago. Some of the choir members have been with me since they were 7 years old, and now they are over 20 years in age, and even there are members who are older. The full-day event also included an art exhibition.
هنا الورش ورش فنية.
I'm the supervisor of the arts workshop. The center holds many art workshops, teaching its members a lot of activities and arts, like for example working with stained glass, working with different materials like cotton, making artistic pieces out of recycled objects, as well as painting. We also hold Arabic calligraphy workshops. Our workshops also include quilting, ceramics, candle